Don't!
You don't want to keep these closed. You won't be able to see Santa Claus coming.
It looked like another low-budget sci-fi, rusted metal, killer machines, and end-of-the-world vibes. But hardware hid a darker truth. Studio battles, censorship wars, and plagiarism scandals nearly buried it alive. What should have been forgotten became a cult classic built on defiance. Prepare to uncover 20 things they never wanted you to know about hardware. Shocking Secret 1. The film's dystopia was realized through trash. The dystopian world of hardware wasn't just painted on backdrops, it was built from real junk. Set designers scoured scrap yards, collecting discarded machinery, electronics, and twisted metal to create the film's post-apocalyptic city. Every alley, rubble pile, and abandoned building was carefully curated to feel lived in and oppressive. Props weren't just decorative, they contributed to the narrative, suggesting a society collapsing under its own weight. Some items were even repurposed from failed technology prototypes. This approach gave the film a tactile, gritty realism that drew audiences into the decayed urban environment. Crew members sometimes risked injury navigating the sharp edges of the metal-littered sets, which added tension to production. Directors and cinematographers used lighting and shadow to enhance the menace of this trash-strewn world. Fans have praised the setting as one of the film's most memorable features, not realizing the labor and danger behind its creation. The dystopian setting came alive through dangerous, real-world scrap, giving the city a haunting authenticity. Shocking Secret 2. The original ending was far more disturbing. Hardware's original ending was drastically darker than the theatrical cut. Early versions depicted the robot wreaking far more destruction, with key characters meeting grimmer fates. Test screenings reportedly panicked at the level of horror, prompting the studio to demand reshoots and a softened conclusion. The final cut still retains tension, but the deleted sequences offered a bleaker glimpse into humanity's collapse. Production notes revealed debates over whether the original ending would resonate with audiences or push them away entirely. Cast and crew had mixed feelings, some mourning the loss of narrative complexity, others relieved that the film became more marketable. Today, fans pore over deleted footage and concept art, speculating how the darker ending might have changed the tone of the entire movie. These hidden choices reveal the constant tug-of-war between artistic vision and commercial considerations in late 80s sci-fi filmmaking. The deleted ending was darker and more chaotic, but its removal shaped the final story for audiences. Shocking Secret 3. Lead actor was nearly replaced mid-shoot. During early production, the lead actor's commitment and performance came under scrutiny. Directors were unsure whether he could convincingly portray the gritty, survivalist protagonist in such a physically demanding role. Negotiations became tense, with rumors of recasting spreading among the crew. Fortunately, the actor doubled down on preparation, performing his own stunts, learning to handle dangerous props, and staying on set through long, grueling hours. His dedication ultimately convinced the director and producers to keep him, cementing the character's presence on screen. This behind-the-scenes tension added a layer of real-life urgency to the production, as every take felt pressured and high stakes. Fans often praise the performance for its authenticity and intensity, unaware that it nearly never happened. Had the actor been replaced, the film's tone, action sequences, and emotional weight could have been radically different. The lead actor's persistence saved the film and brought authenticity to the post-apocalyptic survival role. Shocking Secret 4. Sets were built to encourage accidents. The filmmakers deliberately constructed sets that were uneven, jagged, and treacherous to create tension and realism. Floors were unstable, metal scraps protruded, and wires hung dangerously low. Actors had to navigate them carefully. While safety protocols were in place, the design forced performers to react naturally, adding spontaneity to their movements and fight scenes. Some crew members feared genuine accidents could occur, but directors argued that authentic fear translated to stronger on-screen performances. This risky approach gave hardware a claustrophobic and dangerous energy that amplified the dystopian tone. Every hallway and corridor felt lived in and unpredictable. Stunt coordinators worked overtime to ensure actors didn't get seriously hurt, while still capturing the chaotic aesthetic. This balance between danger and performance became a hallmark of the production, making the world of hardware feel perilously real rather than staged or artificial. The risky set design forced authenticity, giving every scene a palpable sense of danger. Shocking Secret 5. The robot design was partly functional. Unlike many sci-fi films of the era, Hardware's robot wasn't just a static prop. Engineers designed mechanical elements that actually moved, creating the illusion of autonomous threat. Pistons, gears, and jointed limbs were motorized, sometimes operated by hidden crew members or simple motors. This added mechanical realism, allowing the robot to interact believably with actors during chase and combat sequences. The design team studied real-world robotics to ensure weight, motion, and sound felt authentic. On set, actors had to adjust to unpredictable movements, making reactions feel spontaneous. The functional design also helped cinematographers capture shots that sold the robot as a living, relentless threat. Fans often remember the robot as menacing, but few realize the amount of engineering and trial and error behind each motion. The partially functional approach gave the film a tactile energy missing in fully digital or static props of the time. The robot's partial functionality made it terrifyingly real, intensifying every confrontation. Shocking Secret 6. Studio censored key scenes for violence. Several scenes in Hardware were toned down or cut entirely due to studio concerns about graphic violence. The original script included more intense gore, explicit mechanical dismemberment, and darker death sequences meant to shock audiences. Test screenings revealed that some viewers were genuinely disturbed, prompting the studio to intervene. Directors and editors faced pressure to maintain the tension while softening visuals, which required creative camera angles, quick cuts, and suggestive sound effects to imply horror without showing it fully. Cast and crew reportedly disagreed with these decisions, believing the film's impact relied on its unflinching depiction of destruction. Despite this, Hardware still retained a grim, dystopian edge that contributed to its cult status. Some deleted footage has surfaced in special releases, giving fans a glimpse of the original, uncensored vision. These decisions reveal the delicate balance between artistic intent and commercial censorship in late 80s sci-fi. Censorship softened the horror, but clever editing kept the tension alive on screen. Shocking Secret 7. The soundtrack almost got scrapped. The film's post-apocalyptic industrial soundtrack was almost completely replaced during production. Initially, producers wanted a more mainstream, synth-heavy score to appeal to wider audiences. Director Richard Stanley fought to keep the experimental, abrasive score, arguing it enhanced the claustrophobic, decaying world of the film. Composers blended mechanical sounds, distorted electronics, and metallic percussion to mimic the urban decay on screen. The result was a soundtrack that felt part of the environment itself, making cityscapes and robot sequences even more oppressive. On set, sound engineers sometimes played the score during filming to help actors sync their reactions with the intended mood. Fans now associate the soundtrack with the film's unique tone, unaware of how close it came to being replaced with something far less distinctive. Ultimately, keeping the original score preserved the film's identity and contributed to its cult acclaim. The soundtrack's survival gave the film its oppressive, industrial personality. Shocking Secret 8. Improvised scenes made the robot scarier. Many of the robot's most terrifying moments were improvised on set. Actors, directors, and crew would adjust its movements, timings, and angles in real time to create unpredictable threats. This spontaneity made the robot feel alive, forcing actors to react genuinely to its presence. Some sequences were shot with no pre-planned choreography, relying on actor intuition and mechanical cues. The crew intentionally allowed small errors or malfunctions to remain in the final cut, enhancing realism. Cinematographers used close-ups, shadows, and camera shakes to exaggerate fear and unpredictability. Fans often remark on the robot's relentless menace, not realizing that these iconic moments were the result of on-the-spot ingenuity. This approach blurred the line between mechanical prop and living threat, turning the antagonist into a dynamic, unpredictable force rather than a predictable machine. Improvised robot actions made it feel genuinely alive and terrifying on screen. Shocking Secret 9. A real fire almost destroyed the set. During a high-tension scene involving electrical sparks and smoke, a real fire nearly engulfed one of the key sets. Safety precautions were in place, but the combination of flammable props, malfunctioning equipment, and a tight filming schedule made the situation critical. Crew members scrambled to contain the blaze before it spread to surrounding areas, while actors were pulled from danger. The fire caused minor damage and delayed production, but no one was seriously hurt. Directors later admitted the near disaster added urgency and adrenaline to filming, especially in scenes immediately before and after the incident. The chaos behind the camera inadvertently mirrored the dystopian chaos on screen, giving performances a raw edge. Fans admire the tension in these sequences, unaware that real danger contributed to the authenticity. The incident has since become legendary among production anecdotes, highlighting the physical risks of practical effects in sci-fi filmmaking. A real fire added risk and intensity, amplifying the film's dystopian tension. Shocking Secret 10. Deleted scenes showed a grimmer world. Several deleted scenes expanded the film's bleak post-apocalyptic vision. These sequences depicted survivors scavenging through more ruined buildings, violent conflicts with rival gangs, and extended robot attacks. Some were considered too bleak or slowed pacing, leading editors to remove them. Storyboards and production notes reveal a fully realized world filled with despair, moral ambiguity, and the consequences of unchecked technology. By trimming these scenes, the final cut focused on pacing and character-driven moments while preserving tension. Fans who discover these cuts gain insight into how dark the filmmakers originally intended the narrative to be. The excised sequences highlight the constant push and pull between narrative depth and commercial viability. Despite being removed, the deleted footage has contributed to hardware's mystique, giving devoted fans a deeper appreciation for the film's dystopian vision and the creative risks taken during production. Deleted scenes hinted at a much darker world, showing the film could have been even more disturbing. Shocking Secret 11. The director almost quit over budget issues. Director Richard Stanley faced constant battles over the film's budget. Rising costs from practical effects, set construction, and robot mechanics pushed the production dangerously close to exceeding financial limits. At one point, Stanley threatened to walk away, frustrated by studio micromanagement and constant demands for cuts. Negotiations involved compromises on props, shooting schedules, and location rentals, forcing the team to think creatively to maintain the vision without overspending. The tension filtered onto set, creating a charged atmosphere among cast and crew. But it also fostered innovative solutions, like using scrap materials for multiple props, or repurposing partial sets for different scenes. Fans often admire the film's detailed dystopian environment without realizing how close the project came to collapsing under financial strain. Ultimately, Stanley stayed on, and his persistence ensured that Hardware retained its unique aesthetic and uncompromising tone despite severe budget pressures. Budget struggles nearly sank the film, but Stanley's determination preserved its vision. Shocking Secret 12. The costume was uncomfortably heavy. The lead actor's costume was deliberately cumbersome to enhance realism and believability. Layered armor, synthetic materials, and metal accents created a weighty, futuristic look, but limited mobility. Actors endured long shooting days wearing heavy outfits in hot, cramped sets, making stunts and action sequences physically exhausting. Sweat-soaked and fatigued, performers had to maintain focus for multiple takes, heightening the authenticity of their movements. Designers prioritized visual impact over comfort, believing that the struggle visible on screen added tension to the dystopian world. Some crew members assisted with adjustments between takes, tightening straps, Fans might remember the costume's intimidating appearance, but few realize the physical toll on the actor. The discomfort contributed to raw, strained performances, reinforcing the oppressive environment Stanley aimed to portray. Practical costume design added an extra layer of immersion that CGI alone couldn't achieve in 1990. The heavy costume forced authenticity, making every movement a believable struggle. Shocking Secret 13. Visual effects. Artists risked safety for shots. Hardware's effects team often worked under extreme conditions. Sparks, smoke, and mechanical props created hazardous situations, but artists pushed boundaries to capture realistic explosions and robot interactions. Some sequences involved rigging miniature sets with combustible materials while coordinating with actors, who had to react in real time. Protective measures existed, but close calls were frequent. Minor burns, cuts, and near misses became part of the daily routine. The dedication of these artists brought the dystopian city to life, with convincing destruction, sparks flying, and mechanical chaos. Their commitment ensured that the tension on screen felt immediate and believable. Fans who marvel at the film's effects rarely consider the personal risk involved. These behind-the-scenes sacrifices contributed to Hardware's cult status, showing that practical effects often demanded bravery and precision that digital alternatives wouldn't replicate for another decade. The VFX team risked real danger, giving every explosion a raw, authentic intensity. Shocking Secret 14. The script borrowed from classic sci-fi without credit. Some elements of Hardware's story drew heavily from classic dystopian and sci-fi literature. Early drafts included nods to short stories and novels about rogue machines, post-apocalyptic survival, and urban decay, but official credits were limited. Certain plot points mirrored works by sci-fi legends, inspiring the film's tension and robot-centric narrative. While not direct plagiarism, these influences shaped the world and elevated the story beyond a simple chase thriller. Critics and fans later identified parallels with earlier works, sparking debates over homage versus originality. Directors and writers acknowledged the inspirations in interviews, admitting that borrowing narrative structures helped ground the story while experimenting with visuals and practical effects. Understanding these literary roots reveals a richer layer of Hardware's narrative, showing that beneath its flashy production and intense robot attacks lies a film deeply informed by speculative fiction. Classic sci-fi influenced the story, giving the dystopian chaos depth and literary roots. Shocking Secret 15. A hidden prop was inspired by real technology. One of the robot's onboard devices, a scanner used for tracking humans, was modeled after real-world experimental tech from the late 1980s. Engineers on set studied surveillance prototypes and military devices to create a plausible futuristic gadget. The prop could actually detect light, movement, and heat in controlled tests, making its on-screen use feel authentic. Designers added blinking lights, spinning dials, and mechanical hums to reinforce credibility, while actors interacted with it as if it were genuinely functional. This attention to detail blurred the line between fiction and reality, enhancing audience immersion. Observant fans noticed the prop's technical accuracy without realizing the designer's research, and engineering went into every panel and wire. By basing props on real technology, the filmmakers created a world that felt scientifically grounded, intensifying tension and making the robot's threat appear achievable rather than fantastical. A real tech-inspired prop made the robot's surveillance eerily believable. Shocking secret. 16. The film's ending was controversial. The original ending of Hardware was far darker than what audiences eventually saw. Early drafts depicted the robot continuing its destruction even after the climax, leaving a cityscape in total ruin and implying humanity's inevitable demise. Studio executives demanded a slightly more hopeful conclusion to avoid alienating mainstream audiences, softening the grim tone without fully removing tension. Fans who study early scripts and storyboards notice the change and speculate on what could have been. Director Richard Stanley admitted he preferred the original ending, believing it reinforced the film's dystopian themes. The revised version still retains a sense of chaos and uncertainty, but hints at survival and resilience rather than total annihilation. This decision highlights the constant push and pull between artistic vision and commercial viability in filmmaking, especially for edgy, genre-defying projects like Hardware. The original ending was bleaker, hinting at humanity's inevitable downfall. Shocking secret 17. The robot was partly controlled by voice commands. The main antagonist robot wasn't purely mechanical. It responded to subtle voice cues during filming. Engineers rigged sensors that detected tonal changes, enabling limited movement in sync with actor commands. This innovation allowed scenes to feel spontaneous, as the robot could react to dialogue and improvisation in real time. While most viewers assume all movements were pre-programmed or puppeteered, this system added authenticity, making the robot's attacks seem unpredictable and intelligent. Actors had to time lines precisely, and sometimes improvise based on the robot's slight, real-time adjustments. Maintenance was tricky, and any error could result in missed takes or mechanical malfunctions, adding tension on set. These behind-the-scenes tricks elevated the realism, contributing to the film's cult reputation and making the antagonist feel more alive than typical 1990s sci-fi robots. Voice-controlled movements made the robot unpredictable, heightening suspense and realism. Shocking secret 18. Some scenes were shot without full permits. To capture the gritty urban environment, certain sequences were filmed guerrilla style in restricted areas. Crew members set up cameras quickly, shot scenes, and packed up before authorities intervened. This approach gave the film a raw, realistic edge, especially in city streets filled with debris and graffiti. Actors had to improvise reactions to real pedestrians and traffic, enhancing authenticity. Though risky, these shots became some of the most memorable sequences, blending cinematic tension with real-world unpredictability. Fans often assume every scene was staged on set, but these unsanctioned locations added a layer of immersion and danger. Stanley's willingness to take such risks demonstrates the dedication to crafting a believable dystopia while working within budgetary and logistical limitations. The guerrilla approach contributed to the film's cult following appealing to viewers who appreciate raw, unpolished sci-fi energy. Guerrilla filming added authenticity and danger, making the dystopian city feel alive. Shocking Secret 19. Deleted dialogue. Explored humanity's fear of machines. Early drafts included extended dialogue discussing philosophical questions about technology, AI, and human vulnerability. Characters debated ethical limits of robotics and the moral cost of creating machines capable of independent action. Some conversations were deemed too heavy for pacing, so editors trimmed them, focusing on action and suspense instead. Despite their removal, transcripts reveal thought-provoking insights into the film's themes. These lines explored paranoia, societal dependence on technology, and humanity's fragile dominance, echoing dystopian literature. Fans who read these scripts gain a richer understanding of hardware's subtext beyond robot violence. The deleted dialogue shows the filmmaker's deeper intentions, crafting not only a thriller, but also a reflection on technological hubris and existential risk. Deleted dialogue deepened the film's philosophical edge, questioning humanity's control over machines. Shocking Secret 20. Hardware became a cult classic. Despite early criticism upon release, Hardware received mixed reviews and struggled at the box office, with critics divided over its style, pacing, and graphic content. Many dismissed it as an extreme sci-fi B-movie, yet over the years, audiences and genre enthusiasts re-evaluated the film. Its gritty visual design, innovative practical effects, and dystopian atmosphere contributed to a loyal following. Limited releases, VHS circulation, and midnight screenings helped solidify its cult status. Richard Stanley's unique direction, combined with daring effects and an uncompromising vision, allowed Hardware to endure where many contemporaries faded. Fans now celebrate its risk-taking, narrative ambition, and intense aesthetic. What once faced derision is now analyzed, celebrated, and emulated, showing that bold filmmaking can ultimately transcend initial criticism. Hardware's journey demonstrates that visionary sci-fi, even when misunderstood, can leave a lasting legacy. Despite early criticism, Hardware earned cult status through innovation and audacious style. Hardware wasn't just a sci-fi horror, it was rebellion, metal, madness, and pure vision colliding in a wasteland of control. Beneath the rust and rage was a filmmaker's fight to say something real, no matter who tried to silence it. Maybe that's why it endures, because it shows that creativity can't be censored forever. If this revealed a truth about Hardware you never heard before, drop your favorite secret in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the films that wouldn't stay buried. Remember, machines can rust, but rebellion never dies.